So today we are going to see a slight threat of severe thunderstorms across most of Louisiana and then the southern Mississippi area, and then even into parts of East Texas. Now this is going to be the conclusion of yesterday's storm event that occurred very rapidly. As we saw, it went from a slight to enhanced in two zones, allowing supercell convection to occur, very big storms to form overnight, and that's why we are seeing this morning. So basically what we kind of are seeing is the leftovers of this, the rest of the energy being used through. So we're going to see this as a full system that's working its way through the country now, and it's going to have a little bit more kind of that power to the south because that's where all of those warm temperatures are going to be at. So speaking of the temperatures, it is going to be a lot colder with a trough that's going to allow kind of a really Canadian dip to occur, and we see it really in the UP and Michigan and parts of New York, that as we see this system move through, there's chances for snow in some places. Like if this goes up into New York and kind of that Vermont area, it's going to be snowing. So we see that this has kind of brought in the jet stream, it's brought more Canadian air down, and that allows colder temperatures across the Midwest and Ohio Valley up into the Northeast. So that's why we're seeing those 40s. But looking back across the country, you can kind of see the effects because it's like 60, 70, and even 80 in some places up in Canada, but it's colder down in the south. So that is just because of where that jet stream is bringing that colder air down, and we're going to see patterns like these probably throughout the rest of the month. So it's going to be an interesting thing to pay attention to with that is how are these jet stream flows setting up, and will we warm back up? So speaking of that warming back up, we are seeing a line of really warm temperatures down in parts of Texas and Louisiana, and that's going to be right along this line that we're going to see the thunderstorms. So it's being fueled by tropical moisture, and that's going to be allowing these storms to be a little bit more severe today than they were basically this morning and then last night. So then finally checking out what we're seeing on radar, we see that the whole system is really centered around the Mississippi River and then up through the Ohio Valley, and we do see that severity be over parts of Louisiana and Texas and that north part there on Arkansas. But as we go through the afternoon, we see the system start to elongate, and as it enters that eastern coast area, we see kind of a line of individual cells that will form from the kind of a tail of Texas all the way up through into parts of Tennessee and Kentucky. And then we're going to see that split basically in North Carolina. We see the bigger system move off to the northeast and then eventually off the coast, and then we will see a line of basically some thunderstorms, not expecting them to be super severe, to form basically off the coast. So not too much exciting weather-wise past really 3 p.m., but our earlier morning hours is where our more severe weather and high precipitation environments are going to be at. But there's no doubt that when these cells form across parts of Mississippi, basically that is about 2 o'clock, that we will be expecting some of those to be severe also. So basically this morning and then through 3 p.m. at the latest is where I would keep paying attention, being weather ready. We hope to see you in tomorrow's weekend forecast. There will be a podcast talking about what to expect for the rest of the month. We hope to see you in both of those. And we also hope to see you on Monday for next week's forecast.